Shalom. All praise is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Kwadash. Double honor to the elect apostle, bishop, elders, at Great Millstone, every well. Shalom to elect Hak out there, doing this work, sincerity, and truth, and not for vain glory in season, out of season. Just want to bring out this quick scripture right quick. Habakkuk 2 and 4, second chapter, 4th verse. It says, behold, his soul, that is talking about the so-called white man, spirit that is in him, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. And, you know, the fact that the wicked elite, you know, all so-called white people, all Edomites, all Esau, you know, which are so-called white people, man, woman, and child, even that's wicked. Child, ain't no child like Apostle Kabar used to bring out. Ain't no child in the Bible, man. It's really supposed to be sons and daughters. Okay? When it says tell the children of Israel, it's really sons. Tell the sons of Israel. Okay? So it says children, but that's not supposed to be the case. So yes, children is there, but it's really supposed to be sons and daughters. It's not supposed to be children. So children isn't about them. My mistake on that one. But it's really sons. So the sons of Israel. Okay. But even that's ain't gonna be no children, and we're not gonna be referring to sons and daughters as children in the kingdom of heaven. I'll just say that. Okay. But yeah, man, the fact that he worships Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, you know, that's how he was created, by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And he's doing all kind of wickedness, like destroying the earth. You know, how you going to destroy the same earth that you got to live on? How you going to poison the air that you got to breathe? How you going to poison the food that you got to eat? You know, I mean, it's his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. There's not one upright bone in Esau, so-called white man. There's nothing upright about him. He said that he was the Lord. When you read into the scriptures, Revelations, the first chapter, let me get it. Read Revelations, first chapter, read to the 13 to 15 verse. It tells you, man. It says, I read the 14th verse, Revelations 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool. Black people have woolly hair. You know, they call us nappy-headed niggas, right? All right, then. Okay? We have woolly hair, all right? As white as snow. He had a head full of gray hair by the age of 30. Okay? 33. It says, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. The whites of his eyes were red. Okay? His feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters. Now, where do you get a so-called white man out of that? Okay? Where do you get woolly hair? Okay? So-called white man ain't got woolly hair. Okay? All right? Where do you get and his feet like unto fine brass? First of all, brass is a derivative of brown. Where do you get that? Where do you get the so-called white man out of that? Okay? As if they burnt in a furnace. Okay? All right? I mean, he was super dark. Or as so-called Negroes would say, he was mad black. Okay? Even the Chinese call so-called, when they see so-called black people, black. Why are you so black? Okay? But the so-called white man said that he's that's him. That the Lord, that the Most High and the Lord look like him. Is a so-called white man. There's nothing upright about that. He stole the land, he raped, robbed, and murdered the North American Indians to steal his land, and then got the nerve to talk about, oh yeah, you're illegal immigrants. Oh, he stole California and Texas from the tribe of Issachar, from the so-called Mexicans. I mean, but let's go back though. That's not the point I wanted to get to, but it's in the scripture. Habakkuk 2:4. All right. Habakkuk, 2nd chapter and the 4th verse. Okay. It says, behold, his soul, which is a so-called white man, which is lifted up, is the so-called white woman, so-called sons and daughters. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. But this is the point I wanted to get to. But the just, which is the elect, see, the elect are the just. Why are we the just? Because we're the Lord's chosen people. Okay? All right? And throughout history, we did things that were just. Okay? We followed the Lord's statutes and commandments. Even though we went off, even though we broke the covenant, but you still had righteous men and women back then that followed after Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? All right? Even to the same very day. Righteous men, holy men. Okay? All right? You see the apostles out there doing the work. You see the bishops, elders, and brothers out there doing the work. Okay? All right then. That's just. Okay? All right? It says, but the just shall live by his faith. And yes, brothers, the elect brethren, the few sisters, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, because faith comes from Yahweh. Okay? Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the Most High through his Son. Okay? Faith is a gift, like the scriptures say. And yes, we will have to live by our faith. We will live by our faith in these times, in the time of Jacob's trouble that's coming upon this earth. Okay? What's the time of Jacob's trouble? The time that we live in it. That RFID chip, which is that mark of the beast, the famine, the lack of food. Okay, they're saying they're going to bring back the mask mandates. They're going to shut things down. They're going to shut everything down again. But this time it's going to be worse. Okay, when that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, comes out, the elect is going to live by their faith. The just is going to live by their faith. Okay, so I hope you've been edified, and with that, shalom.